I've had people say, "Oh, this is how we used to do in our house. This is how we used to do in our house where I'm coming from," forgetting that marriage is about two different people from two different backgrounds coming together to become one. So for your marriage to work, you have to be teachable, and for you to be teachable, you have to be willing to unlearn, relearn, and continue learning, because it's a journey, it's a process. Hi,
Hello.
how are you guys doing? Feels good to have Mr. Abiola back on the channel, guys.
Yay.
I'm always happy because you guys don't know the war that happened behind the scene. Before I always get him here. so
Well,
I'm al-
Lord be glad.
so I'm always glad to eventually have him like make a video with me. And when anytime you see us together, you know that okay, we're about to drop like heavy, it's a banger. Okay, so guys, today maybe not talk too much. So today we'll be looking at a topic. I know you'd have seen it in the title before you even clicked on the video, but today we'll be looking at the effect of learning and relearning in marriage. Because a lot of times I've had people say, "Oh, this is how we used to do in our house. This is how we used to do in our house where I'm coming from," forgetting that marriage is about two different people from two different backgrounds coming together to become one. So there will surely be clash of interest, clash of everything, and everything in between. So I've had someone say, or I've had it before, people say that when you get married, I don't know if it's a book that we read, where it said that you have to build your own family tradition
Yeah.
when you get married. I think we've mentioned it
I think it
before
was
in one
funny.
of the videos.
Not traditions.
Yes, like you have to build like traditions that suit your home. We're not asking you to throw away because in the first place, if they did not throw you well from your house, eventually your marriage will not work. You will not have the good characters that would actually that is meant you won't have good characters that is meant to sustain a marriage or sustain a home. So but there are some things that you can't really implement in your own family. When we're discussing about this particular topic, my husband and I actually said something about how a lot of times you cannot come into marriage and say this is how we used to do in my mother's house. This is how we you need to reach a compromise. Like marriage is always all about coming and meeting in the middle. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Biola?
No. Basically, it's just that it takes two to make it work. I always say
Yeah.
that, like, it takes two people to make marriage work. So, of course, we need to compromise, like you said.
And another thing I want to say is marriage for your marriage to work, you have to be teachable. And for you to be teachable, you have to be willing to unlearn,
Unlearn.
relearn, and continue learning, because it's a journey, it's a process. Why will you go to school after your BSc and say you want to do masters? That's because you want to acquire more knowledge on that field that you studied on in during your BSc days. So it's same thing in marriage. Like so many people spend money on education. I think I saw that recently. So many people spend money on education, but many people don't invest money in their marriages.
Mm.
And that's why so many marriages
Put deep.
are crashing. And the funny thing is now we even have so many free resources, but people are still not even making use of these free resources that we have. So let's just jump right into the video. So Mr. Biola does the honors of what is it?
Go on, go on.
Mr. Biola does the honors of starting. So over to you, my husband.
So we'll be looking at five. We'll be focusing on five areas that the effect of relearning and learning in marriage has been our own story as regards the topic. So first off is adaptability. Now, when we newly got married, my wife was used to closing the door of our room, and it became a slight issue between us. And I'm like, "Why are you closing the door of the room?" Right? Because where I come from, the doors are always open. We have curtains, right? But then the doors of the rooms are open every day, every time, anytime it's open. But then there are curtains that that for privacy and the rest of it. But in our family, in our house, the doors are always closed
24/7.
24/7. All right, so and I'm like, don't close the door, open the door, open the door. So we now agree now, we reached a compromise. When it's during the day, let's open the door of our room. When it's at night, when we want to sleep, let's close the door so that at least you can have. So it's a win-win for everybody because the way I've been brought up is that I like to see through things. So if I go to other people's house, of course I used to adjust. But if it's my own house, this is what I want to do. But then so we had to reach a compromise about this, and we had to leave.
Okay, so another thing I want to say about this particular topic is that my husband is like, should I call him a picky eater? He doesn't eat this, he doesn't eat that. Like his food timetable is like in a box.
It's my stomach.
And if he goes out of that box, he will purge. So even up to noodles, the particular brand of noodles is what my husband like. But where I was coming from, if you give me, I don't like some too, but if you give me golden penny, if you give me chicken, if you give me, I'm fine. If you give me the normal indomie, the indomie too, I'm fine. But he likes the indomie. So when we got married, I'm like, there's no, some people might make a big deal from me that no, I actually liked golden penny more because that was what we ate more at home. But because he liked indomie, and to be honest, I really didn't like indomie per se. If I got married, I could eat it. And I'm like, there's no big deal. Let's just, maybe let's just start eating noodles. There's no need to say buy half golden penny, buy half. If I didn't like it, we might have now reached that compromise of okay, let's um let's be buying half carton. So it's just about making it work. It's about making it work because you guys are coming. Just imagine you've had people say their marriage broke up on toothpaste, on that.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
say
first
it's a lie.
on the bottom, first on the top. All those...
You might say it's a lie, but marriages have actually broken. People have had issues. Some people have beaten themselves up, even on this something as little or as insignificant as
Don't
it
touch my
sounds.
charger. Use my charger.
As
All
in,
those
you'll be
nonsense.
surprised. You'll be so surprised. Can you think about the silly fight you have with your siblings? You're even going to have even ones that are even more silly than that with your partner. So yes, adaptability. You need to learn. Don't be one side, like one mind, this side, this side. So the next point we'll be looking at is spiritual growth. And in the sense that, some people came from, imagine people, somebody marrying from, we are both RCCG members, a particular domination. We know how it is, how things are being done. Just imagine two people from different dominations coming to like together to marry. You've grown up in this particular domination, your partner has grown up in this particular domination, and you guys now come together. Let's say you now want to pray, and maybe where you are coming from is soft life kind of this thing, but you are now from the other domination that is, fire for fire, fire for fire, and you're like, calm down, bro, calm down. I don't know if you've seen this Willow's this thing about this particular thing. His wife is the, and she was telling him why he came from, his background was Catholic, why she was the fire. So she was not spiritual because it wasn't giving her the whole fire. So just their marriage almost broke because they had serious issues. And I remember even the Willows themselves, this was not even their drama. I saw one of their messages where she was speaking about how she was from Catholic and he is the fire for fire. And when they first got married, it was like, why this man they pray like this? Like why she can't they pray like this? But he now said even now I want fire for fire, for the parties on fire for fire. So it's about a marriage. It's about give your partner grace, give them room to grow. You just met this person. This person has been living life for 25 years, 26 years, 30 years before you met them. You can't just expect because you guys just got married and they just suddenly change at once. I saw a story online where somebody was saying that she was attending a particular church and she got married to someone who in their family they don't believe that you can wear your ring or you can do attachment. And this was not discussed before marriage. They didn't have issues. They didn't state the mother-in-law didn't state issue with this particular. Please, just manage our background. Manage. So this particular mother-in-law didn't have issues with this particular thing until they got married. When they got married, they know that wanted her to stop wearing earring, and she's like, it was just a big issue. Then she brought it up to seek advice. So these kind of things they are real. So these kind of things are real. They are things that are happening. They are people's true life experience. So as a partner, let me now stay on this story I just told you now. I feel like it is in the partner, it's their marriage. It's not the marriage of, but even that sometimes where oh, this is how they usually do in the husband, or this is that, because it's the one that sometimes, a lot of times in this part of the world, have to blend more. So these are things that you're supposed to actually talk about. so that you can reach a compromise, so that things that are not supposed to, cause issues in the marriage, cause problems, would not even happen. So, do you have anything to
So I,
say?
I was going to say that marriage is a journey, yes. Two people coming together. So Mr. A is coming from this is where Mr. A is, this is where Miss A is, and they are coming together. So you have to understand that everybody's coming from somewhere, but together you are going to the same
Yeah.
destination because you are now married. So you have to be able to adjust to each other's what's the word now, each other's form, right? Then we can compromise and say, how would this work in our own marriage? This is where I'm coming from, this is where you are coming from. And these two things infused together, how do we make it work for our own, right? Yeah.
So the third point we'll be talking about is intimacy. I was in a class yesterday and we had like a talk about love and all, and I remember the speaker spoke about how a lot of us, so many people, didn't grow up in that environment the parents where the parents were really showing or displayed what it means to really love us. That sometimes the characters that we show towards our partners, towards our friends, is because of the kind of love that we received from our parents. And she mentioned something that so many people didn't receive grace from their parents. Like, there was no patience, there was no, and that was because that was the same thing they also received from their parents. So, imagine you growing up and I was saying something about how, have you ever seen people who grew up in a home where their parents were lovebirds? Like, they really show you what, sometimes you that you not come from, you feel a beg. What, like, you feel like they are doing too much, but no, they're actually not doing too much. Because imagine you go to a house now and in the morning, you mean let's say you spend 3 days in a, and you see the couple, the husband goes out in the morning, comes back, he beg the wife, the man come back in the afternoon, they give each other tight hug, but they're doing, and you're like, wetin they do all these ones. But if you have grown up in a place where your mom and your dad, that was their normal life, you know that affection, showing affection towards your partner is something that is normal. Like, it's something that is normal. Like, it doesn't have to be in the other room. Like, daily affection, affirmation in different ways is very, very normal. So there was something we intentionally started doing in our house. Before my husband leaves the house in the morning, until Joshua came to join, he will give me a peck, he will give Joshua a peck, then he goes out. In the evening, we'll August probably give us a peck. And that was like a tradition that we're trying to build, because guy, you've gone out since morning. Like, it is just normal. That's a way of, teaching Joshua. It's normal to be affectionate. It's normal to receive love and give love. So intimacy is like a really, really big thing that we didn't grow up to experience these things, that is so scarce in our society. Does not mean that it is not possible. There are people who are enjoying this. There are people who this is their way of life. So when you get married, you need to like come. You will hear some men say that, no. You will hear some men say that, no, this particular thing is not meant to be for men. Like, you don't have to be romantic with you. It's a taboo for some men to be caught being romantic towards their wife outside. Have you had something like that? Because they grew up in a place where, no, the men were brosling. They were, don't show emotion, don't do this. And it intimacy is like a big part, a major part in marriage, for you not to show it to your partner.
So the fourth point, one, two, three, four. The fourth point is communication, right? And this communication is quite important in marriage, right? Because it's not just about saying words; it's about the person's understanding of what you have said too.
Yeah.
That is quite important, right? So, one of the things that we're trying to build in our family, in our home, is that there should be no, right. If there's an issue and I'm not ready to talk about it, instead of just doing, okay, can we talk about this later, right? Communicate how you are feeling in that particular point in time. I don't want to talk about this now. Can we talk about this later? It's not a way of shying away from that discussion or that conversation. It's just that you are probably not you don't want to regret some of the things that you might say, maybe because of your mood or what have you, right? So, right, you have to learn communication. It's quite important. Communication has to do with active listening. So you cannot be talking to me and you are pressing your phone, right? So if I need to do something, so please can I just quickly attend to this and we'll get back to this at this moment, right? So and communication is quite big. Tone of your voice. I mean, Tammy comments about that a lot. I can I can give body facial expressions and I'm like, come on now, don't do this, right? So that's pretty important. Yeah,
True
JJ.
now.
You're shouting. You're not communicating.
You say you're not communicating.
Alright, so yeah, that's that. Let me take some.
Well, I think I said it all. Like, and communication, I would say, is like a really big part that we really need to learn. It's majorly about really understanding your partner's personality. And I know that a lot of times when you want to, my husband is I want to talk about it later. And me, I'm we can talk about it now. Let's trash it now. And me, like I said, don't raise your voice at me. Like, if you want me to listen to you, don't shout at me. Má pariwo mọ́ mi. If you talk to me gently, I'm going to listen to you. Young man, if you talk to me gently, I'm going to listen to you. And how did we find out? How did we get to know this thing about ourselves? Came from a place of communicating. Communication actually saves you a lot of stress. Will save you a lot of misunderstandings. Will save you so many things. So I think yes, that's that.
Yeah.
That's about that. And finally, we talk about forgiveness because it's an essential part of marriage. An essential part of marriage. Your partner will offend you. Your partner will annoy you. We annoy you 100%. Like, I feel like that one that will annoy you most in this life. After your siblings, your partner, they're the next set of people that will annoy you so much.
Yes,
So
they are. So like I'm the Elisha here. You don't know what's that, right?
so like you just have to just put a place for forgiveness, especially if you're coming from a place where you find it hard to let go. You have to be intentional about this aspect though. If not, you just keep accumulating, and forgiveness is deep. It's beyond okay, let go. It's about really trashing. That's where communication comes in too. You are able to forgive easily when communication has been done. Do you know how many people that don't forgive it because they were not heard?
Oh, that's true,
It feels
yeah.
like the person did not understand. For forgiveness to be easy, understanding communication is way important in helping forgiveness when it comes to marriage. So you need to come to that place of learning and relearning your perspective about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not only about sweeping under the carpet or saying okay we move on and that's it. No. So I think we've come to the end of this particular video. Thank you so much, Mr. Abiola,
Thank you for
for
having us.
honoring our invite. God bless you, sir. Until we see you again. Until you see Mr. Abiola again, which is very soon by the grace of God, because we have like back to back something for you guys. But hopefully there'll be time to film with him. Bye. Thank you. Oh no, bye. Babe, please post them to subscribe.
Exactly. Help us.
This is going Yoruba way.
Help us.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, like, share, repost,
Comment. Yes.
Everything that they say. Just do everything that we say to blows powder.
Thank you so much. Please comment, please subscribe, please share this comment. Let's just share this comment, share this content, share this. Please,
Yeah.
Joshua is telling you too.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until we see you in the next one. Bye. And I was in the class. Oh gosh. So you will soon go to school, Chuchu. Joshua now. I'm so sure that if we should